Greetings. This is the Launchpad Baker, along with Hello Medio. We're at another entrepreneurial business here in Baker City, Aspect. Today, we're here with Eric Wirfs. This is Aspect. Eric, explain to me what Aspect is.
Aspect is a gym that's built around being all-inclusive, accepting everyone, and focused on all aspects of your health. We primarily, the methodology we use is all built around functional fitness. So our bodies are built to move the same. So it's adaptable to anyone. Everything we do can be modified for any person's level of fitness.
So, where'd you come from?
I moved to Baker about a year and a half ago from Southern Oregon. There in Medford, I coached at a CrossFit gym, Rogue Valley CrossFit, for about 5 years. Did CrossFit about 2 years before that, just as a member at the gym. And life sends you in some different directions, and I was looking for a change of scenery, and had an opportunity to come check out Baker, and decided to come on up.
So, when you moved to Baker and you were driving around, what made you decide, I want to open a business?
Well, I've always had maybe a dream, always a desire to open a gym of this nature. And I've always been intrigued by the business side, being an entrepreneur and those elements of business. I've always had a normal day job also, and always wanted to venture into something like this.
So figure out, what's the why? Why did I decide to do this?
Ultimately, it's just because I enjoy this type of fitness, and I've found benefits in it, and I really have wanted to share it with other people. Anytime that you find something enjoyable or that brings you happiness, I thrive off of sharing it. And this is one of the things that's been important in my life. And that there was an opportunity here that didn't exist for others, and so I wanted to bring that to the community.
The awesome thing about you sharing and bringing things to the table is there's obviously some unique value that you bring that doesn't exist in other environments. So explain to me the difference between just going to a hotel gym and working out and coming here. What's the process? When you meet somebody and they walk in, how does that conversation go?
Well, I think a lot, certainly there's a place for any kind of fitness methodology in certain people's life. Like this particular one, we base it around functional fitness, is really driven around nothing special. We want we want every client, every human to be fit on all levels. Try to raise everybody, every aspect of your fitness. And there's many. We want to raise them all as opposed to just going and focusing on a specialty training. You can subscribe to programs, go to a gym on your own, and try to follow that. And that does well for some people. Not many of us will lose interest. Here, it's a cross between going to what's often called a global gym, where you're on your own, versus having a personal trainer. Classes are small, so you have the attention of an individual coach that's trained in body movements and can ensure that you're getting the most out of the time that you're spending. You're not going to get injured. That's the key difference. What comes with that is the camaraderie. You begin to develop relationships with the community that is also coming in, other members. And then you have a measure of accountability. You know that Sally's going to be there at 5 a.m. You don't want to get up, but you look forward to seeing Sally. And Sally looks forward to seeing you, so you're going to be there. You go to the global gym, you don't know who's going to be there. Much less care. Probably more times than not, they're in your way. This is a smaller group, so that everything flows better in a class setting. That's
an amazing point. I've always known that that personal connection and that satisfaction you get from coaching somebody and working with somebody is amazingly valuable. I coached for years, and you have the the chance to see somebody come through a struggle. They have a goal. They know where they want to go. They don't know how to get there. And then you get to bring them on this journey. You get to bring them in and say, okay, where do you want to be at the end of this road? And you get to help them go through that process. So what does that feel like? And you probably have had multiple experiences when you get to have somebody come in. If you give me a great example of somebody that came in was struggling, and what it felt like to take them to the end of the road.
Well, at first, in this setting, sometimes people on the outside looking in get intimidated. And generally, those are the people that thrive the best in this kind of environment. They have doubt. They haven't experienced the strength that they really have. We don't do easy things in here. In fact, we look forward to doing hard things every day. And we get stronger and we get fitter and those kind of things. But all of that mental shift, the mental health that it's providing us is all delivered out in real life. The things we're learning about ourselves and the way we can push ourselves. So often we see people come in, they're telling themselves that they can't. Either they're verbally expressing it, you can see it in their body language, and they'll step up to a bar or a ring, or they'll jump up on a box, and you can see their face lighten up. They discover their strength. And I think that key piece, the discovery, is really what's rewarding. We'll get strong if we're consistent in just about anything we do. But I haven't seen anything where people can discover their strength. We're easy on ourselves. We take the easy route as humans. But when you have the accountability, you have a cheerleader and a coach that's providing you the direction and the push to challenge yourself and to discover that, that's really been the most rewarding.
You had a delayed opening, which enabled you to kind of go back and fix some of the things that maybe you didn't see coming. So when you start a new business, you always have this thing in your mind about how it's going to look. And then when you get there, all these other things come in that says, no, you have to do this, this, and this before you can start a business. List some of the things that you learned, you figured out, or maybe some mistakes you made that you wish that you had information on before so you could have avoided them.
Well, one of the problems is I view this as almost a hobby. Like, it's something that I enjoy, and I know and I've learned and read that that's not the best way to approach a business venture. You have to treat it like as a business. So rather than seeking money, capital investment from other people, I did it all on my own. So there's some risk that comes with that. But again, I looked at it as this was going to be my place no matter what. So I was building something fun for myself, and I was just going to invite others. So looking back, I think one of the elements that I failed to do was have a solid business plan in place before I even bought the first mat. And I think you're at risk of failing if you don't have that foundation. So I do wish that I had gone back and done that. The delay in the opening did allow me to reach out to some local resources and get some guidance and just some structure on how that should look. I've written what I thought were business plans before, and I have lots of notes and plans and directions that I want to go, but to be able to package it up so that at some point, if I ever was to grow now, I'd be able to seek investors or those kind of things to help grow at the pace that it would need to keep up with the market.
That's probably the hardest thing for anybody who has a passion or a dream, to kind of like realize they have to kind of tear that apart a little bit and get back to the math. The math has to work. I have to bring in enough revenue to pay the bills to have this be a business, but then I also have to be able to have the tools in place to expand, which is not everybody's comfort zone. Not everybody wants to spend 2 hours doing payroll or QuickBooks or figuring out bills. You want to do what you love. You want to do your passion. Finding that balance is kind of a painful step for most people. No, I just want to do what I love. So how have you been able to balance that, into this new business move?
Well, I'm still working on it for sure. That is probably another element that I didn't realize, the time that it was going to take away from everything else. I saw it as I helped manage the gym in Southern Oregon. I saw what the owner went through and how he had things delegated. I thought, oh, I got this. It's small scale. So it's a constant struggle, but I am recognizing the importance of how they say that hire stuff out. If it's not your specialty, hire it out, and your well-being is going to be better. Your life is going to be better, and your business will thrive. So I'm probably at that point now where I've got to really start looking closely at. I'm running out of hours in the day. I still got to sleep. I got to take care of myself, and I got to look and start hiring some things out or automate some things a little bit more, which is going to come with an expense, but it's also going to improve the experience of our members, and that's what I got to focus on, and the rest of it will take care of itself as long as I do it the right way.
That's actually an amazing lesson to give entrepreneurs, to realize that what you do has a value with your time, and how you focus your time is kind of critical. Do I hire an accountant to do all my payroll and stuff, or do I spend 2 hours once a week doing that and being stressed? Did I do it right? Or do I spend that same 2 hours working one-on-one with somebody doing something I love, getting a far better return and generating more than enough revenue to pay somebody else to have that headache so I can sleep at night? Yeah. What have you started to kind of figure out as far as a long-term plan on growing and expanding your business? You know, I know that you mentioned that you're starting to reach out. What are some of those aspects of having other people do things that you're going to try to utilize so you can focus on what you do best?
Well, right now there's a lot of things, even from like a software standpoint or from a workout programming side of things, that I could do. I can pay a monthly service, and that would save me 2 to 3 hours on a Sunday night, making sure that the week was planned and set for everybody. I'm more, especially out of the gate, I want to be more hands-on. When it comes to agreements, membership agreements and waivers, there's an electronic way to set that up, so there's no paperwork to deal with. It's all recorded. So those are a couple of the things like right now that I probably could get some easy wins out of. But as far as growing, and my hope was to have, right now I'm about where I hope to be in about 12 months, and I'm going on 6 weeks or so. So it's happening faster than I expected. One of the dilemmas is as you grow, you need more equipment. There's a shortage of that in the United States right now because everyone's at home and bought it all up over the last few weeks. So I'm kind of running into some challenges there, but I'll get through it. I may have to I'll have to look at expanding classes size just slightly, maybe adding some more frequencies during the week. And I'm looking at that too based on people's the needs of the market, if you will. The community is built around kind of a working class people. Everyone has a typical schedule, and so there's a lot of demand for certain time slots during the day. So I need to look at that and really look at adding more time to help disseminate the groups that I have. We're really kind of getting bottlenecked at one time slot, but if I have other times that other people can settle into, it'll relieve some of the restrictions or some of the pressures that others feel in their schedule.
That's always the challenge with any business is time allocation, and your time is money. And as you stated, the value that you want to bring to the table is you and working with you. That's a unique thing about this type of business. So you bring technical expertise to this area that I couldn't. You bring passions, which is valuable. One thing I've always learned is we're amazing at giving other people advice. We're really bad at giving ourselves advice. If we were our own life coach, we would fire ourselves every day. But what you bring to the table is you're kind of their life coach when they come to the store. You help them with all those aspects. So there may be some opportunities for people to realize that it was handy to buy that maybe bike at home for now while we're in COVID, but as soon as it gets over, they're not so good at their own life coach, they're going to seek you out. Might be an opportunity to say, hey, that bike you have at home, bring it down, maybe I'll buy it from you, or work something out. Expanding and getting bigger, what other ideas do you have of how to accommodate when you get to have more people in here? What are you looking to do? What's your dream scenario 5 years down the road? When you walk in and look out, what do you want to see?
Well, if the world is ever healthy again, I think I would like to have a class size of between 10 and 12 people. That as a max. That is, it's still small enough that everyone gets the attention that they need, and yet big enough to feel part of a bigger community. And I think if I can get to that point, I'll look back and feel pretty satisfied. I don't know when that'll happen. I have room here yet for even like if we get rid of some of the current restrictions guidelines that we're under, I can expand a little bit here and probably push that number a little, maybe to 8 or so. But eventually, I'll have to get a bigger facility. But I don't want it to be so big that it loses that personal touch. I'd rather. I don't want to be a millionaire at this. I don't foresee that happening. My real passion is just sharing it and make it a piece of the community that everybody benefits from.
Thank you for helping Launchpad Baker and Hello Media spotlight another entrepreneurial success in Baker City, Oregon, Aspect Strength and Conditioning.